Hi guys, so I'm going to touch on soulmates and twin flames. I've had to re-record this because I got a little bit heated when I was talking about it the first time, so I'm re-recording it. And you get so many people who want love readings. Are they my soulmate? Are we going to be together forever? I'm only waiting for my twin flame. People are putting way too much stock in thinking these people are their other halves, and they might be to an extent. But unless you've been around those sort of connections, you're going to think that it's something that it's not. So you may meet your twin flame, but you will probably never meet them again. And the thing is, I've met mine died. We met on Halloween, on Samhain. I call it Samhain, but people call it Samhain. In 2004. And I was engaged to a gypsy boy at the time. And I met my twin flame, and not that long after he died. And it's something I'll never forget. But they always say that although twin flames will meet, it will never work out. You'll never work out as a couple because you're too similar. You can't exist together. And that is true, coming from someone who has seen it and witnessed it. Soulmates is just, we have several. We do not just have one, guys. I know people say, oh, I want to meet my soulmate. You have several. They're people that you travel through different lifetimes with, different circles. You'll have a soulmate in, say, one life, a different soulmate in the next, and then they both might be in another past life. I've met two of my own, and they were very, very different connections. The first one I met, it was in 2010, and I just moved back from Devon, and it was love at first sight. It was literally, the minute I saw him, it was like electric. It was like I've been electrocuted, and he felt that same thing. And within a week, we were living together. We were in love, but it went horribly, horribly wrong. There was so much karma attached to that relationship. It would not have backed down. We were on and off for years. We were always leaving partners for each other because it's a connection that we couldn't make work, but a connection that you couldn't get rid of. Now, my second soulmate, his connection is a lot stronger. He's someone I've known since childhood. Our families have always been circling each other, put it that way. You know, his dad used to date my aunt, and, you know, with him it's fire. It's a fire in my belly. And he's someone I don't see the other one ever, unless I make contact, whereas this other one is around a lot more. And after we got together for the first time, which was 10 years ago, I had certain dreams, and I was seeing our past lives together. And I will do a separate video on that past life dream, because it's quite an important one, I think, it's an important tale to tell. And with him, it's just like pure fire. And the trouble is when you meet your soulmates, sometimes it's because you're trying to resolve issues from a previous life. You know, for example, my mum and my stepdad, they're soulmates. But they're divorced now because, you know, and she had a regression done, and she cheated on him in a past life, and in this life he cheated on her. It was a karmic situation with those two, but it was a soulmate relationship nonetheless. So please do not think that soulmates are the be all and end all. If anything, I encourage people to avoid them because they're usually full of drama, or they're usually full of stuff that can't be settled. And sometimes you're better off going with someone who isn't a soulmate because you have a fresh energy, you have a fresh connection with them, and you start from scratch. You don't have to worry about the karma and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I have to say about that, is do not be so focused on trying to find a soulmate, because sometimes soulmates do not mean a happy ever after. If anything, usually it's the complete opposite of that. So just be very, very careful, especially if you are intentionally or putting intentions out there trying to manifest a soulmate. You know, you need to be very, very clear that it's a soulmate that doesn't have that level of karma attached. And it's a bit of a twofold thing, because once you feel that connection, it can be so overwhelming. It can make you physically ill, and that is what the second one, actually that's what they both did to me at one point or another. They both made me physically ill, because there's just too much energy, you know. And sometimes you don't know if you're drawn to them because of their connection or because you actually love them. It's very, very difficult. Whereas at least if you're with someone who isn't a soulmate, you don't have to worry about loving them for them, not for the connection that you feel. And I don't mean this to dampen people, I really don't, but that is the truth of it. I've seen so many soulmate connections over the years, not just my own, other people's. And when you're in this line of work, you see an awful lot, and you see this sometimes the damage it can do. So all I'm saying is, please do not be so focused on trying to find a soulmate. Try and just focus on being happy. Focus on being happy.